Okay, sixth grade. So we've been working with percent, right? So if you were to make percent as a ratio or like as a fraction, how does it go? Part, whatever part it is, over the whole amount, okay? And if you put that in the calculator, what do? You divide. The part divided by the whole. It's going to give you a decimal. How do you turn that to a percent? To say it. Move the decimal twice. Okay. What if you want to convert a percent to a decimal? What do? Move it back twice, right? 2 times. Then they would ask us like, what is 30% of 10? Well, we plugged it in, right? What is the question mark? Also known as, remember that word? The variable. Variable. That's what you're looking for. Okay, is would be the equal sign of means to multiply. Okay, so this last lesson is over word problems. Okay, that's all it is. So we're going to skip straight to the homework. We're going to read through and discuss each problem, and then you'll go back and solve it later. Okay? Not right now, but you'll get one when we're done. Yes, but let's start. So, whoa. Page 225. 225. Are we all there? Was it cold outside? You're red. What? Yes, you know where they're at, right? Okay. Nancy hopes to collect 100 oysters from the ocean. She collected 15% of her goal so far. How many oysters does she have? So what are they asking there? What is 15% of 100? Okay, so you'll figure that out. Give me a thumbs up once you have that written so I know I can move on. Okay, got it? Okay, number 2, Hal is downloading a file from the internet. So far, he has downloaded 25% of the file. If 10 minutes have passed since he started, how long will it take to download the rest of the file? So 25% took 10 minutes. Okay, so every 25% is 10 minutes. Well, how many 25% are there in 100%? 4. Okay, so 25%, oops, that should be a 5, to 100%, we took it times 4. Well, up here was 10, right? Well, what's 10 times 4? 40. So the whole thing takes 40 minutes to download. That's the whole thing, right? But they already downloaded 10 minutes. So what would be left? How'd you get 30? 40 minus 10 equals 30 minutes. Thumbs up when you have that one. Okay, Sally eats lunch at a restaurant and her bill, or the total, is $12. She would like to leave a 15% tip for the waiter. How much money should she leave? So what do I need to find? What is 15% of 12? Okay. Don't forget though, word problems. So what must you do? Label. Okay. Thumbs up when you have that written so that I can continue on. Okay, a town spends 43% of its annual budget on education. What does annual mean? Every year. So they spent 43% of their yearly budget on education. If the town's budget is $1 million, how much will be spent on education? So what's our sentence here? What is 43% of what? One. How many zeros are in a million? 6. So what is 43% of a million? Okay, Matt hopes to score 120 points this season. He has scored 80% of his goal so far. Fill in the double number line diagram to find out how many points he scored so far. We're not going to do the double line diagram, but I do want to know, find out how many points he scored so far. How would I figure it out? What is 80% of 120? Okay. On a test, Jenna gets 85% of the questions correct. Linda gets 32 out of 40. Carl gets 7 out of 8. And Julie gets 0.83 of the questions correct. List the students in order from lowest to highest. So Jenna, let's put them all in percent form. Jenna has 85%. Linda has 32 out of 40. Well, how would I find her percent? On the calculator, what would you do? No, not point. It's not in a percent, is it? Just 32 divided by 40. It's going to give you a decimal. What do you have to do? Move the decimal twice. Carl gets 7 out of 8 correct. How are you going to find him? 7 divided by 8. You'll get a decimal, so you'll have to move it twice. And Julie gets 0.83. How do you find her percent? Just move the decimal. Then you want to list the students in order from lowest to highest. Okay. Make sense? All right, thumbs up when you have it. What I wrote down here is just over here. And then I would just put their percent, like 0.83. What percent is 0.83? 83%. So I would just write them right there. Okay. All right, students are auditioning for a school play. Only 18 of the 45 students auditioning will get a part in the play. What percent of the students who audition will be in the play? So what am I asking myself? Keep going. Wait. Okay, wait. Sorry, that's not it. Not that. This is part of total, right? So how many are going to get it? 18 out of how many total? So how do I plug that into a calculator? 18 divided by 45. The first lap of an auto race is 2,500 meters. This is 10% of the total race distance. What is the total race distance? So we don't have the answer, right? We know that 2,500 is 10% of our variable, right? So we know 2,500 is 10% of question mark. Okay, so remember, this is like that one that we did yesterday, correct? So 2,500, what would that translate to? 2,500 would be equals 10% would be of would be times, and then what? Question mark. So how do I get the question mark on its own? Let's go, Taryn. So if we're multiplying over here, when you want to get rid of it, you do the opposite, right? So what am I going to do here? Divide by what? 0.1. Because what is 0.1 divided by 0.1? 1. A number divided by itself is always 1. Okay. And what you do here, you have to do over here. So that will give me, we'll just do it really quick. 2,500 divided by 0.1 is 25,000. So what's the total length? Is that what we were finding, right? What's my total length? 25,000 what? Meters. Okay, so these ones down here, you're going to have to work them, right? Okay, use your words that we know, okay? Questions so far? Yes, no? Okay, in a jar, 25% of the marbles are red. If there are 45 red marbles in the jar, how many marbles are in the jar altogether? So what do we know? That 45 is what? So we know that 45 is 25% of our marbles. I'm going to put M for marbles. Okay. So now I'm going to write it out. What do I put for 45? 45 is, what do I put? 25%. What do I put? Of, what do I put? If you ever see a dot like that, that's times. Okay. I'll put my times there. Times what? M. So how do I get M all by itself? Not 25. So I'm going to divide over here by 0.25. Remember, what you do on this side of the equal sign, you have to do on this side. So what will I do over here? 45 divided by 0.25. On a 747 airplane, 20% of the seats are business class. If 80 passengers can ride in business class, how many passengers can the plane carry? So question, 747 airplane. Is 747 a number that's important to this problem? No, that's the name of the plane. I'm going to cross it out just so I don't get confused. Okay, so 20% of the seats are business class, 80 passengers can ride in business class. So what do we know? That 80 is, because are there 80 total seats on the plane? No, there's 80 business class. These are both business class. So we know that 80 is what? 20% of the seats, right? So I'm going to put S. S for seats. Okay. So then you work the rest of it. All right. And you have to work backwards. okay? About 10% of people are left-handed. If there are 480 people total in a movie theater, about how many of them are likely to be left-handed? So what am I trying to find? Very good. What is 10% of 480? Mr. Ramos pays 22% of his income for housing. So 22% of what he makes goes to paying for his house. If Mr. Ramos pays $88,800 for housing, how much money did he earn during the year? So what do we know? So we know that these are the same, right? So we know that 8,800 is 22% of his income. I'll put I for income. Okay, so you'll have to solve that one. And let's not worry about the spiral review today. You don't have to do any of the spiral review. Okay, questions on what we're doing there? Questions on this? Okay, you may grab a calculator.